Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
Solsh.
I just want to say, FPL. Fun game.
Yep.
Fun game.
Yeah.
We should spend all of our time doing it and care the most about it.
Yep. I agree.
Good talk.
Yeah, great talk. Just a couple of guys in agreement about a thing that they do with their life.
Yeah,
That's it.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're just chatting.
It's the eve of New Year's Eve. There's nothing else to be talking about besides FPL. Great game.
Great game. Best game.
Sink all of the teeth into, all of your time into, because it just yields fun and pleasure, and it feels not lucky and balanced, and it's just perfectly designed. Just wanted to shout out the Towers. Thank you so much for this game. How'd you do?
33 points for Team Walsh over here. Not great. That's it. Not great. I got 8 minutes out of my entire defense when I went into the game week. Great. I had five starters. When the game week ended, I had 8 minutes from all of the 5 starters. So that's it. Yeah. That sums it up for me.
Yeah.
How about you? How'd you do?
I will say, of all weeks, I have a bad week.
Dude, you fucking say this way too much. Every bad week is bad. But it's bad.
But
it's a bad week. Every week that you have a bad week is a bad week to have a bad week.
And you went down 200K. It's like nothing. On a week that you took a hit and had 8 total minutes in your defense, to go down 200K is the best gray arrow you could have ever imagined.
Don't try and cheer me up.
I'm not trying to cheer you up. I'm just stating facts. You can internalize it however you want. I got 39 points. I went down like 20K, so even grayer than gray. Whatever. I had same shit as everyone. Many guys postponed. Since bringing in Kane and Son, I've just been flying. That's just been great for me. Also have Taylor with the 8-minute performance. Robbo's 9-pointer today was absolutely massive. Saved my week. That's basically it. Same shit. Okay. Same shit. Fun game. Shout out to the top 3 FML Field Prize League / Monthly winners for December. They fucking won December. Hardest month to win. Most game weeks. Matthias Hogberg, a.k.a. Macam Mayhem. Jamie Berland, a.k.a. Bauer Heads. And Nemanja Veletic, a.k.a. Never Pick Sterling. That guy fucking won a mug. Nemanja. Straight in. And then shout out to the leader of the FML
And he captained Sterling.
I think he did in a week where he was had a nightmare week.
Fuck that guy.
No, he capped him because we shit on him. He felt bad, and then he went back on it, and his name proved to be right in this situation. Shout out to the leader of the FML Field Public League, Felix Hansen, aka Hasse BK.
I think that's correct pronunciation.
Hasse. What do you think? Haas?
I don't think you've ever mispronounced anything.
Maybe it's Courtney House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking nailed it, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
No, for sure. Here we are. What do you want to talk about? We got a bunch of questions. Got some topics. Anything you want to start with? You have a shit-eating grin on your face. Cracking my seltzer open.
I mean, you know where I want to start and end. You know what I want to talk about for a half an hour.
I'm pretty 99.9% sure I know what that is.
Tell me.
Jack Wilshere, a.k.a. Jack Grealish.
Yes. How is he a good pick? Make the case.
Great pick.
Make the case.
A lot of points. Nailed. Incredible underlyings. Some of top 3 underlying stats in the league. Great pick. Eye test, great player. Breakout year, superstar. cheap as fuck. I don't anticipate Bruno returns from my 7.5 million players, and he's way outperforming anyone else and remotely near his price.
Well, except for Wilf, who's 4 points less and has played less games. But
has he played less games? Because Villa had like 2 canceled games, haven't they?
Yeah, but he had COVID, so he missed 2. And
COVID trumps all.
What would it take for you to view him as not a good pick? Because honestly, this is my thing with him. When you say eye test, great pick. Like eye test IRL, yeah, he's the best player on the team by million miles. But I don't see him doing and he's had 2 games where he exploded, and then the rest of the games he's just been bad.
What does that
for
mean?
FPL points?
What does that mean?
It just means that the avenues aren't there. He gets fouled in fuckland. He creates chances to bad players who don't typically finish them, and he doesn't score that many goals or shoot that much.
So you said he's had 2 weeks where he's exploded, and every other week has been bad, right? So you're talking about his 24-pointer and his 15-pointer, right?
Yeah.
So he's also had an 8, 6, 10, 10. Are those also bad?
No, those are but then the other games he's had 2.
Okay.
And it's like,
so
but
he
what
blanks
are you
sometimes.
But what is it in the eye test for FPL that looks like, because he doesn't look like scoring goals every game. He doesn't look like.
Well, he shoots 3 times a game.
The last goal he scored, but the West Ham goal was an actual worldie, which he has in his locker because he's a great player. But
yeah,
he's got 1 goal since game week 7. That's bad.
He scored in game week 7 and game week 10. Yeah.
That's a long time. Like, that's the thing is we're looking at his stats to Hazard, and in open play, they're comparable. But Hazard will chip in, like, Hazard has this return plus like 3 pens to date, and that's why he's great. And he takes some set pieces and stuff, right? And with Jack is like, how many blanks, and I still feel like that West Brom game, the 2 assists were, I mean, they were pretty lucky. He could have easily finished that game with.
But you were saying he has no avenues, and to me, that's like part of the avenues that he has probably more touches in the box than anyone in the league. He take-ons out of his ass. He just beats people on the dribble for fun. Like, drawing pens is one of his avenues. He creates a billion chances. He has incredible underlying stats. Those are avenues. You know,
I don't know. I mean, I see it. It's like that's the only avenue is like the assists. I feel like, and the goals are so not there, and I don't feel
definitely his number one thing. I would say is creator. Yeah, that's why I've been comparing him to Kevin this whole time, because that's the thing that beyond anything else he excels at is creating chances, XA, all that stuff. You know, I mean, number 1 in the league XA is Kevin. Number 2 is Jack. That's how it is.
Yeah, but it also is like we talk about the creators for FPL picks, like the Ericssons and the Kevins of the world. I mean, this season not so for Kevin because this fucking team sucks this year. But Villa have bad players around Jack, and he's number whatever, and he has 8 assists, which is a lot for right now. He's like 1 and 2 on the assists if you balance it out. But I still feel like it's not like the 2 goal 3 assist game against Liverpool and the 1 goal 2 assist game against Southampton, like those were like microcosm weird anomaly games, and the normal performances are what we've been seeing over the last couple months. Like Villa's like coming back down to earth. I mean, Barkley, he might not play again for 3 months, and we know that's a big deal. But I mean, the fact is he's coming back soon, and he's been saying that since November or October.
Just 1-1 with Chelsea, and then 1-3-0, 1-3-0 back to back. Like, I don't know if Villa's coming back down to earth. They've been really good.
They've been really good in real life. I mean, they've been winning games. They've been fine. The defense has been good. They've been finding ways to win games, but Jack's not getting a lot of points. Like, I don't think he's an FPL pick compared to the IRL. I think
it's still an important point that, like, I bought him when he was 7-1. You probably bought him around the same time.
Yeah, probably.
You're comparing him to guys who cost minimum 9 in like an Ericsson, or Kev who cost minimum like 11.
That's
for
fair.
a 7.1 player, he's ridiculous. Because
that's fair.
All it takes for him to get a quad return is some of the shit goes in. You know what I mean? Like, guys like him and Kevin, they can blank because they need other people to score to get the assist points. that's the downside with the creators. But they also have quad returns around the corner because fucking Douglas Luiz randomly scores one and someone randomly scores a header and he gets a deflected shot in and it's a triple return. And if he does all of these actions every single game by creating chances and shooting and taking people on in the box and drawing fouls, then that's why he's a good pick.
Yeah. No, that I got
honestly, I think like if the order of things happened in reverse, I feel like we meaning everyone in FPL would be less frustrated with them. Meaning like if the explosion 24 and 15 pointers happened recently and early in the season he was 2, 2, 10, 2, 3, 6, 10 or whatever, we would be the ones who are like, he's kind of a good pick and his underlines are really good. And then we would reap the benefits of that with the explosions. I think it's worse feeling that we missed the 24 pointer. And then, you know,
I don't even care about that though, because I'm looking at it more of like the trend of what the performances have been like. Like he's been playing a little bit deep. He played further forward in the Chelsea game for like the last 40 or 30, right? We definitely saw that, but he's been playing more reserved. He's not taking any indirect set pieces. And
weirdly, he did in Chelsea also, which I don't understand.
Yeah, he took a couple, but you know, he's Birch or whatever. Yeah. In general, he's not doing any of the things. So I mean, the timing of it is whatever, but like outside of those two games, it's like the getting fouls and take-ons and key passes, like those are all nice. And I get that those are, you know, long-term sustainable things that you'll get assists from them eventually. Right. But when I watch them play, he doesn't, like, they say it's a created chance when he makes a side pass at the edge of the box and the player shoots from fuckland. That's a chance created. Right. So I don't watch him creating like big chances, or when I watch the game, I think it's been at least a month and a half since I'm like, he should have had 2 assists this game. Like, I feel like over the last 4 or 5. That's the point of XA,
right? I agree with you. Key passes can be really deceptive. Like, he's 3.64 per 90. That's like incredible. But that's what XA is for. Like, sometimes there are huge chance that should have been finished. I mean, against Palace, he had created a bunch of big chances. You know, against Chelsea, they were subjectively like, I thought they were bigger than they would be. XG said no, but you know, I feel like at least 1 or 2, usually big ones per game. And if you're creating like 6 or 8, before Chelsea was 6, 8, 6 in the last 3 games. Like that's to get just 2 assists from those games. One of them being fouled for a pen is like underperforming by a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's good. He's
all right. So we're pretty split on Jack. I just feel like you make a good point about the price. What are you expecting from players in that region? And if he comes in with another 150 odd, 160 points, if he plays 90 minutes, like he'll probably keep ticking along periodically. But my main thing is when I watch them play, I expect him to blank. Like when I watch them play, that's where I feel like FPL wise, he is in the game, is blanking. And I feel like it's fortunate or really lucky when he gets a return. If one of his assists, like one of the bad players scores a goal and he happens to pass to him. And I don't know. I feel like he's just someone that you could look to move. And, you know, I think Trent and Robbo are very viable replacements.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other price points, yeah, I mean, he could be there. I think if I were to construct an argument against him, I would be like, maybe the Leeds guys, and when saving $2 million also would be in the mix, like going cheaper. Maybe they'll return at a similar clip if Leeds are just scoring so much and attacking so relentlessly. But I remember what I was going to say, which is even after the explosions in game week 4 and 7, if you just go 8 through 16, he's averaging 4.5 points per game. That's not anything crazy good, but over the course of the season, that's like 170 points, and he's a 7 million player.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess.
And that's fucking great.
Yeah. I think it's just also, it's really frustrating because he is so clearly the best player on the team.
Oh, yeah.
But watching him for FPL, all the good things, the best attributes about him do not translate to FPL points. Getting fouled and winning possession and progressing the ball are not FPL point categories.
Right.
You know, he doesn't get like a tap in. Like I don't see him have a big chance shot. Like I mean, maybe he had some in the Liverpool or whatever, but like it doesn't happen.
Right,
you know,
right.
And you know, that's difficult. You know, it's difficult. So it is either like a real like a long term hold when he's fit, and you just don't think about it.
Well, and going back to your original question to me, which was like, what would it take me to get rid of him? And what I think my answer is for him to be the worst player in my 11.
Yeah, which is very, at this point of the season with inflated team values, which is very much the reality of a lot of teams I'm seeing.
Some people maybe, but like I have fucking flags every week. I have defenders getting dropped every week. I have players who don't play every week. So for me, it's like it's never been close, you know? But if you're fucking, you know, flying and have 2 frees and have no flags and your team is just the best thing ever, then it's like, go for it. Do something else.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's also a important point is basing it on your team is that there are a lot of teams I've been seeing that it's like, well, I need money. It's like, well, Jack is like easily the place to make money. Like he's easily the worst player in your team. Like you have 2 elite defenders, like good rotation for the third. Like everyone else in your attack's good, like Bamford, whatever, and like DCL or whatever. It's like Jack is like the worst of those options, kind of a thing. So he can get squeezed out.
I mean, guys like this are never gonna like tank your season. I just think
no, they won't.
I just think he's not a problem, and you think he is a problem. I feel like it's like the.
I don't think he's a problem, but I don't think he's just like auto because I feel like it's been the echo chamber for 2 months. Is like every team has him. Great pick. He looks so good. Villa are playing well. Like, and I just don't agree with that at all. I don't at all agree with that. But I don't think he's a problem because, like you're saying, he's going to play 90. You know, there's a fixture pile up. You know that he's as long as he can walk, 90. He's playing.
Yeah.
He's blanking. He blanks a lot. He's been blanking a lot. Yeah. He has 4 blanks in his last 5 or whatever, and
with 2 tens,
whatever it is.
10 blank, 2 blank, 10 blank blank. Fucking great.
Yeah. But the blanks, it's I don't know. I think he's just someone. I still think he's someone to look at.
Yeah. Yep. Reasonable. Where should we go from there? I mean, maybe we should talk about Leeds. I just mentioned the Leeds guys. I mean, let me get this out of the way. Yo Bills, Frankfurter, Cardi, Al, D Silva, Matt, Caius, Puck, all asked about Stuart Dallas. Everyone can fuck off. I'm not talking about Stuart Dallas. Not going there. No interest in going there at all. But I am interested in talking about their attackers because they're unlike anything we've ever seen. I mean, I feel like the closest comp is like the Pep City teams with markedly worse players at every single position, obviously. But like the relentlessness of like, we will never stop attacking, jam attack down your throat. Nothing else matters except attack. And, they're on pace for 70 plus goals. That doesn't sound like a lot, but the only teams to regularly eclipse that are City and Liverpool. Mm-hmm. Like there's an occasional Arsenal, there's an occasional Spurs, but like that's usually third best in the league last 4 seasons. That's insane considering all their players are 5 million and 5.5. And, Patty, we've had him for a long time. He's just so auto. Instant, should be in every team. I don't give a fuck what you think about him. But they have all these cheap midfielders who I'm not impressed with IRL when I watch them, but they're returning decent points, and they're 5 million or 5.5. And I feel like they are very reasonable enablers to have in your team.
Yeah.
Harrison has really good stats. Rodrigo has really good stats. Rafinha has really good stats.
Yeah, I mean, my main issue with Rodrigo is, with Pablo back, I think that that's under threat. Whether or not Pablo will ever be able to play 60 minutes, but I think Jack Harrison's not very good, and I think Rafinha, I could. If you're putting a gun to my head to pick one, that's the one. But he still has that ability to kind of float and out of games and disappear. He's just a winger. He's going to be very inconsistent returns. He's just a winger, and
it's just that's
for as much as they attack, I'm so uninterested in the midfield because I don't. I just don't see
I'm a little
sustainable points there because. the players, I like Rafinha, good player, but he's still like new to the league. He just got here, and it's that's there's something to that, like figuring out, because he's just he's inconsistent. You watch them play, and some games he's not playing basically, and some games he's active and lively, and I don't want that in my pick right now. And other than Bamford, I just don't see much there. They score 5 goals. That was very fluky, right? There was the own goal.
Almost every 5-goal game is. We should say that.
But when the XG is a 1.5, right? It's not like the XG is 3, which is like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. But it's they had the same XG as Chelsea against Villa, whatever. It was that kind of a game, and they were all going in. So I don't think there's much there. I feel like there are better, or there are places that you could look elsewhere.
I'm a little interested, not gonna lie.
So who would you get? Like, who are you into?
Well, Rafinha's the most like skilled when you watch him. Harrison, I don't rate him. And then you look at his numbers, and he's 5th in the entire league in XA per 90, and it's just so
is
what?
He like? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, because I watch him. And he's not a player I'm picking on my team.
Yeah, the thing is, we're so used to the bad players, the 5-5 players, not being on teams that struggle to score goals. That's why that's what the duality of it is like. We're used to this guy being on fucking Bournemouth, and they struggle to score goals
or something.
And occasionally they do something, but they're never ever picks. But we're just not used to the relentlessness of this, and I feel like it should modify how we treat the players. You know what I mean? And it's like
that they're going to run into points by accident. Even though
they attack
their best players.
Yeah, like the amount of shots and XG and goals and all that stuff compared to every other promoted team we've ever seen is just like it's blown out of the water completely.
Well, it's not even every other promoted. I think looking at them more just like a bottom half team like that. Yeah, but no, which makes it even more impressive. But
they're 4th in the league in XG.
Yeah,
just straight up goal scoring underlying. 4th in the league. Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa, Leeds. They're above City, above United.
So you're just like, because this is where I'm looking. I'm like, Souček, like, I want him over any of them.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm looking at like Saka, Martinelli. Like, I'd rather have them.
Probably Saka, and I went with Saka on my brother's, wildcard team. But I don't think Souček. I'd rather have these guys in Soup, and that's purely just quantity. It's like Soup will get 1 chance a game, and Harrison's like bad, but he'll fucking be involved in 5 or 6 shots per game, whether he's passing or shooting them, And it's like,
but this is also the issue with these players in this price bracket is, you only get one. So if there's one better option elsewhere, then they're not in your team. And that's kind of, when I look around, it's like Martinelli. There's no one that I would pick over Martinelli under 6 million.
I would pick these guys over Martinelli.
Yeah, no way for me. Not close.
Yeah. Well,
but I think it's not
them up though, because
I think it's an interesting point because they attack a lot. That's fine. Yeah. I still Bamford's good. You got him in, and then
Bamford's
I don't think
automatic.
The other picks are too great. I don't know. But it's not that reasonable to just ignore the Dallas stuff though, because not everyone is on Discord talking about stuff. But
they just did it to like trigger. But I know.
But I just hit him out, right? I literally before this fucking week, I hit him out, and I got him in on my wild card in game week 5. I've had him for a long time,
and he's getting tons of points,
a lot of points, and I hit him out, and he just puts 12 up. But like, what is give your Dallas spiel so that it can be out there in the ether, because he's a player that people are gonna. He's probably going to price rise like twice this week or something.
I'd imagine so. Listen, we talked about him a lot when we were on the call together watching games, and it's just like...
Yeah, but no one's on the call with us. So.
No, I know. I'm just framing it because I'm trying to also remember like exactly what I said and where I was coming from. But a lot of people will tell you he's the most attacking fullback in the league, and he has great numbers and all of that shit. And I think the thing that I was saying to you at the time was, if that were actually the case, we would be all over him. we fucking love guys like that. And if you've listened to the pod for any amount of time besides this season, you know, in the past, like, we're always getting these guys. We're always getting the fucking Lampteys and the sneaky fullbacks who get really far forward and looking at the underlyings and all that shit. And, you know, you'll see other people saying, like, look at his, you know, career history. This is exactly what we expected Dallas to do. And it's like, well, he scored 5 goals last season, playing half in midfield in 4,000 minutes in 45 matches. And
against worse teams.
Against worse teams.
And
he's on pace for like 10-ish goals this season against better teams. So no, this is not fucking what I expected him to do. And he didn't magically turn into a better finisher. He's just getting these fucking random goals or like putting in worldies and overperforming his XG by a lot. All that aside, they're also the most open fucking team we've ever seen defensively. And they have, beyond my comprehension, how they have 5 clean sheets. They don't really, maybe against West Brom they deserve one, but in most of the other ones, it's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, West Brom clean is, no, you can't, team can clean them.
Even a West Brom clean, they back pass to Diangana from the 6-yard spot in the middle of the box. Yeah, absolutely should have scored. Massive
they're not gonna not give up a big chance to any team. I mean, just like every other team.
I mean, Burnley clean. Meslier just drops 500 balls in the box all day. They have an actual goal ruled out, and people are like, "Yeah, clean, awesome, easy." It's like a joke. Burnley completely outplayed them second half. They keep it clean. So that's a big part of where the frustration has come. Also, is that like they're also keeping these cleans, which has kept him afloat and given him 6 more returns than he probably should have.
Well, they shouldn't have 0 cleans on the season.
I think probably 1, the West Brom game, maybe 2, Sheffield United.
I mean, okay. Keep going.
Is that unreasonable?
That's a little, yeah. I mean, that is unreasonable. Why? 1 or 2 halfway through the season. That's like Sheffield United. That's a team on pace for like 2 points and that have 2 points. Because they're still going to keep 1 or 2 just based on the nature of dominating a few games or whatever, just attacking. And Meslier has a worldie in a couple games. Like, I think, 3 is fine. Like, if they have 3 right now, I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
There's a fucking, I don't think of 3 and 2 and 1 as that big of a difference. Basically, underlying wise, the chances they concede, they really don't deserve many. I mean, even Sheffield United put up 1.5 XG that game. They suck. So, yeah, okay, 1.5 XG for Sheffield United, maybe it's not worth anything, but so 2, whatever. The bottom line is they have way more than they should have based on numbers and based on performances. So I don't buy defenders who I never, ever expect to clean and, occasionally get, like, a side pass assist, but, like, I don't know. That's basically the spiel.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're being very harsh. I agree with most of what you're saying, but the other side of that is, now he's not 4 or 5 anymore, but the attacking stats for a 4 or 5 defender, when you stack him up against the rest of the 4 or 5 defenders, are good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's one thing. So, I mean, part of, like, when it was game week 5 and I'm looking around, like, I want to load my team up with 4 or 5 defenders, I don't know what the hell Leeds are at that point. So I'm like, yeah, his attacking stats are good. He's not out of position. People keep saying he's out of position. He's not out of position. He's playing fullback. And like, so that's okay. They're not out of control stats, but they're good. They're as good, if not better than the other 4 or 5 options. Like, maybe Justin or, Lamptey and shit. Fine.
Absolutely.
But it is that aspect of keeping the clean sheet. That's the base level of analysis for defenders is, the team's clean sheets are the sustainable things, not these fullbacks getting assists and goals because their opportunities per game are so small. It's so much less predictable. And first, I don't rate the player. I don't believe watching him this season that he's very good. And I don't think that there's a lot in the tank there that like, oh yeah, he's class. Like I watch them and I'm like, wow, Dallas is fucking up more than he's doing successful things.
Right.
And when they attack this much and the cleans are pretty lucky so far, I just don't agree like that they're sustainable in any way, shape, or form. They have they have 6 clean sheets and they have the second most goals allowed of all the fucking teams.
They're second most in shots conceded, second most in shots on target, most big chances conceded, most defensive errors.
And that reads as a team that should have 2 or 3 cleans right now, not
second
6.
Most XG conceded, second most non-penalty XG conceded. That's what I'm talking about when I say that they shouldn't have cleans.
They should have 2 or 3, not 6. Something like that. And if that's really it, but it's still, if you're looking in this bargain bin place for a defender, they just had their good fixtures. They have home Brighton coming up. They have Newcastle coming up. You could still put him in and rotate him for some of those. And there aren't, it's not like there's 20 options here at this price bracket, So I'm still not sitting here like, I don't like the pick, but it's not completely ridiculous either.
Yeah.
Because it's under 5. But you look around at the teams, like who else are you looking at in this price bracket, right?
Villa, Burnley, teams who keep cleans.
Yeah, and you could do that, but you could still also look at, well, he does have underlyings and he does have some attack, and say maybe he's going to get a couple more goals, and he might. Yeah,
he might. So fucking Holding might.
But no, because he's like, he had one of his goals to fucking tap in the box. Like he's making those run. Like there are not very many fullbacks in the league that have license to make that run and get in that position.
Yes.
So that's a thing. That's real. That's a real thing.
And even still, he's vastly overperforming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I still don't expect them to clean whenever just my baseline with them is I'd never expect them to clean.
No,
and I expect
every
them to
game
concede massive chances every game. So I don't like those kind of players.
That's fair.
I just, expect 2 pointers. And so whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll keep cleaning. I don't know. Everyone's like, I thought we were supposed to be the new Norwich. I'm like, literally no one ever said that. They're expected to be mid-table and they're mid-table. And their attack is awesome and their defense sucks. It's pretty much exactly how it's expected. Speaking of Arsenal, we got some Arsenal questions. Let's go there. We got Cardi said, I've already invested in Martinelli because value for money. Please validate my decision so you can take care of that. Balsky said, of the 5 million range, where does Martinelli stack up? Cam Anderson, Walsh talked a month ago about Arsenal still being a non-joke team. Are they good now, or at least good and they have a couple okay FPL options type of way? If so, who are the options? And John V on Twitter, is Arsenal defense a thing? So, you want to talk about Martinelli? You fucking love Martinelli.
He's an incredible player. He's a Rolls-Royce player. And obviously the fact that he finally gets fit after being out for like a fucking year.
Actual full calendar year, yeah.
They have 1-2 fucking days off, and he's managing his minutes by subbing him early and starting him in both games tells you all you need to know about how Arteta views him.
Yeah.
It's not. I've been talking about Martinelli since like preseason, right? It's not a coincidence that he drops in the team and they just fucking destroy Chelsea and they have their first good game all season in the league, and they put up 6 points in 2. He does everything you want someone where you're putting him to. He makes runs, he offers, he's dangerous. He gets shots off quick. He has a nose for goal. Like, he's everything you want for a real life player and an FPL player. And he's fucking 4'9". He's just fucking great. And Saka has started to, he looked better the last couple game weeks. They're getting the bad players out of the 11 and putting good players in. And Smith Rowe, frankly, impressed me the last 2 games. I didn't know anything about him. I've never other than Nate just kind of like mentioning him for fun because they play on Thursdays, I guess, this year. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
He's essential to this to me.
Yeah,
he's absolutely essential to this.
Definitely. And he's been stitching everything together. Like, he's mobile, he's active, he floats around, and he's dangerous. He's a problem. Yeah. And the defense has trouble finding him and picking him up, and he's just combative. And he in the final third, and he's a very interesting player from what I've seen so far. And
he's the only guy that I've seen that has been good at that most forward central midfielder. in front of the two DMs. I haven't seen Willock play well there.
No.
Laka, Willian, fucking
Laka's had some good good games.
He was
there.
good in Europa and stuff, but like, I don't know.
He's had a couple league games.
Smith Rowe's just good there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Willock, I don't think he's a player. Reece Nelson, I'm not sure about, but Laka, I mean, Obbs was kind of the biggest deal is he's getting the bad players out of the team. I really don't think Pepe's a player at all. I think they need to sunk cost. I know some people still like him a lot. I don't know if it's a transfer fee or because he's good at pens or he has some flair shit, but he's too
I don't know what the fuck
one dimensional. It's just he gets marked out of every game. He's
like
out.
A bad Mahrez. Like he just tries to take on. That's all he ever does. Sometimes he'll score a worldie. It's just like
he's ineffectual. Every game he's ineffectual. Yeah. So the big deal is that he's got these three players in the team with Saka, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli, and they're all competent and they're mobile and they interchange well and they interlink. They link play well, and it's just they're all good. So that's the thing I think with Arsenal.
Yeah. So for me, Saka is way more my guy.
Yeah, I don't, because this is the same thing of where I'm like, I think the goals are for Martinelli's got goals. He's got going to the pen spot, threatening the goal, and Saka's not.
He's more of a goal threat.
Those are my picks.
But I think Saka is also a bit of a goal threat. Not as much, a bit, and a really incredible creator. Absolutely. Yeah. He's one of the best young players in the league. Incredible. And since game week 10, when he's come back in, he's played 90 every game. Well, subbed off early against Brighton.
He got hurt.
And his numbers
He might be hurt.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
He has that Lamptey thing where he's just a very small human. And I'm like, I don't know if he can play. But his numbers since then are really, really good. Like, underlying since then, since game week 10, he's been playing further forward. Really, really good. And I just think he's a really good pick. They're both really fucking cheap. So yeah, I like them both. What about defense? I mean,
it's still a no for me. Like big no, I think. Like very, very loud big no.
I think Holding is reasonable. 4-4.
Just because of his price,
Yeah, I mean, he's been nailed. He's 4-4. They still play pretty conservatively, Yeah,
and they have some good fixtures.
They have really good fixtures.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is I think this is the other thing has been difficult since we watched so many games is I'm like forgetting about that there are fixtures in this game, like the prices and these things matter. When I just think about, like, I watch Arsenal, I'm like, their defense isn't very good.
Yeah.
But there is still like, Holding is 4-4 and all the other cheap defenders are fucking bad anyway. So
they clean Brighton, he gets Max Bones, and they have West Brom, Palace, and Newcastle next.
Well,
that's why.
I mean, my biggest issue with the defense, but with Holding specifically, is it's Holding. He's the worst player on the team by a lot every game.
I'm not going to say no. Yeah, I'm not going to say no.
You just have to say that. So, I mean, Gabriel comes back. Mari's been playing. The future is not Rob Holding. He's bad. Yeah. He's not a good center back. Yeah. So that's an issue. But aside from that, I still get worried about the DM play. Like, Xhaka's still playing. I don't really... The spine concerns me, and I just don't. I mean, cleaning Brighton is like a rite of passage. They are so fucking, and their B team nonetheless. They play their fucking B team.
Yeah, they had no forward.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not as surprised as like Leeds cleaning, like compared to like when Arsenal clean. Like, and Leno's great. Leno will save a goal every game.
Yeah.
More or less, but I don't like the spine there. But yeah, you got Holding there at 4-4. That's okay. But,
it's Bell, a rotational type of.
Yeah.
They're priced to be rotated. That's why I don't like Bellerin and Tierney.
Or even Gabriel 5. It's just a little bit too much, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you with that.
Partey,
but I'm still worried about Holding keeping his place.
Yeah, that's
a game changer.
Correct.
We don't know. But he might not be back till
we have no idea.
March.
But if he were to come back soon, that makes him a lot better also defensively. So
I also don't know that. Like, I need to see more.
I just think it's
I know
easy
his reputation,
to know that
but
because compared to Xhaka, Ceballos, and El Neni, I think he's just like automatically the best.
No, I agree with that. But, you put him next to Xhaka, and Xhaka's still there. So is he able to do the Conte like role of two men, which is basically what you need to do if you're putting someone next to? We don't know. We'll see. But
yep. That's Arsenal. Good up and coming shit. I mean, I'm happy for that. Look, we were fucking upset about them being so bad. Just what was that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
And then all of a sudden, here they go. I mean, we literally laughed on this podcast and we're like, can they beat Chelsea? It's like fucking jokes. They're a fucking joke team. And then here we go.
He plays the young players who are good, and he got rid of the bad players like Willian.
Yeah, I mean, they win like 4-1 every week in Europa, and then he plays the old shitty guys in Prem, and they lose. And now he's playing the young guys, and they win.
Finally.
So it's good. Yeah. Got a couple Everton questions. Jack said, any thoughts about DCL to Martial? He's just talking about DCL. He's just talking about DCL in general, which maybe is a more interesting thing. And then Voldy is asking about Everton defense, which, you know, they have Pickford, but sometimes they start Olsen. But I think the more important point defensively is that, like, Carlo's a really good manager. They were conceding 2 goals every single game, and then he changed how they play, and now they've been cleaning for fun.
Yeah, that's needs must, though. I would be wary of buying into that narrative because I think it's been because of the players that have been available. He hasn't had a choice.
That's assuming that James or Allen are ever going to return, which is a big assumption.
Yeah, we don't know. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze there to hope that they stay out and because the team that he started with everyone fit was nowhere near keeping clean sheets.
No.
So that's something to think about.
Should be back on it soon, which is more relevant to the DCL talk, maybe. Which is, I mean, I don't know. I transferred him around a while ago. He returned in 3 straight and then blanked finally once. I'm still terrified of
this week too.
What?
You blanked this week as well.
This week, interesting week. But I don't know. Where are you at on him? I mean, you obviously have held him this whole time. Are you worried about the state of the team with all the injuries and stuff? And they've been a lot more conservative. They've been a not free-flowing attacking team.
I mean, this honestly is similar conversation to me we were having with Jack. Mm-hmm. But he relies on scoring goals instead of having side passes finished or having big chances finished by El Ghazi. And he gets points every game instead of every 4 games. Even when the team's bad, he still looks like best player on the team to me. He does everything I want him to do every game. The opportunities aren't coming, but even a set piece, like he's a menace on every set piece. I'm like, he could score on any corner, right? I mean, there's so many opportunities throughout watching a game where I'm like, it can be him at any time. He's always active in the box. Right. He's always making himself difficult to mark. His movement's so good. He's always making difficult runs. And even on long balls, like he holds something up, he gets a thing, anything of it.
Yeah, he almost, I feel like every game he almost, or does like control the long ball, turn a defender, and he's like almost throwing a goal. Yeah. He does that. He has that down. Yeah,
and he had that turn, that like snapshot that was saved.
Yeah.
I think that was Ramos, whatever. Like that was. I mean, he's nowhere near my thoughts to drop him. I mean, I was thinking about it a couple months ago, and just watching him when the team's not functioning and him still trickling in little points here and there. He hasn't scored a goal in a while. I mean, it's been four games with no goals, and you don't love that. But he's gotten 3 assists in those, so he's still ticking a little bit. Ticking along, and this it still has for me, right? I mean, I bought him at 7 game week 1, and now he's like 8. So
I mean,
it just doesn't look like a place.
It was a big risk.
It just doesn't look like a place where I'm going to be getting more points with what I do elsewhere.
Right. Yeah.
What do you regret your move now?
Not yet. I mean, I still think
he hasn't done anything significant.
Yeah, no, I still think he's good. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not good. Like I said, I kept him in Brothers Wildcard team for a reason. He's just a good pick, straight up. But I think it was not a crazy risk to get rid of him, and I haven't been punished, really. He's been steady, but he hasn't done much. And I could see myself getting him back. I mean, listen, outside of the pileup, I fucking knew that James was not going to be able to play the pileup. We talked about it a lot on the spot. He has no legs. He can't run. He can't play every 2 days. He can barely play every 7 days. So, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, they're back to full strength. Maybe Dean's back. Maybe James is back. Maybe Allen's back. I could see myself going back there. Sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't regret it yet. He hasn't really done that much to hurt me. So.
Okay.
Then okay. I mean, that's it for grouped up stuff. I have some Discord questions, just random questions, but anything else you want to cover first?
I mean, I guess we should talk about Rashford because I brought him in.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about your transfers in the Your Team section. Yeah, for people who didn't read the lineup thing, why don't you talk about that decision? Because everyone in Discord is like, Walsh getting Rashford? I didn't see that coming because you fucking hate him.
Yeah, I hate him. I had 2 frees, and I was just looking at I had Kevin. Obviously, Kevin was gone, and it was just a matter of like, where do I go with this? And I didn't. It took me a lot of loops around the fucking cul-de-sac to figure out like.
I was wondering what we were looping there.
Like Rashford, He's I mean, United fans, we watch this kid play. We've seen him play thousands of minutes. He is definitely in the 11, and the team plays chaos, open, mindfuck games because no one respects them. And Ole doesn't know what he's doing. So he changes the players in the formation every week. So every game is just a mindfuck. And every game's unpredictable. No idea what's going to happen every game. And
well, we know that it's going to be chaotic. I feel like that's a cleaner way of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
They're consistently attacking in a chaotic manner of, pacey guys running all over the place with world-class Bruno and Pogba distributing them the ball.
Right, exactly. And he's priced to buy. And I know, I don't even want to listen back to what we talked about in the precog was complete out of hand dismissal of Rashford. But at 9.5, looking around the mid...
Because of Tony, I think. That's why we dismissed
probably
him.
That's, because Tony is cheaper. And
cheaper and better.
At the time, it seemed inconceivable that he would be worse than Rashford, and Tony's gone and had a fucking meltdown this year. I don't know what he's up to. He's fucking hammer drunk. I have no idea. But Rashford's been like underrated, pretty consistent. And he's a workhorse. He plays as many minutes as he can handle, really. And he's very integral to what they do. And he's just always offering, and he's always available and always getting big chances, even though he sucks fucking ass at scoring. And he scores by mistake usually, to me, when I watch him. The amount of times he fucks up in a game is too many to count. But he does the one thing. He's the opportunity and the availability is so high. We were talking about how he's like Son, but he's like nothing like Son.
He plays the Son position and gets a lot more chances.
Volume, but is a lot worse.
Way worse at finishing.
Yes, exactly.
So it balances out to still a good pick.
Still a good pick.
Yeah. And like over his career, he's basically even with XG player. He's an average finisher. That makes sense. And if you're getting a lot of chances... If you're, his XG per 90 is 0.42, that's really good. Then that's a goal every other game almost. Yeah. That's who he is.
And the thing about him though that I didn't really look at too close until after he scored in the 1-0 and got no bonus points, which I was not surprised at all about because he just fucked up all game.
Well, missing big chances is bad for bonus.
He's really, really, really bad at bonus.
Yeah.
Like stunningly so, like worse than Mo.
Yeah, he's missing big chances.
Like that's the other
worst
difference
thing you could do.
Yeah, like between him and Son, they have. I mean, Son has a few more goals, but Rashford has like 2 bonus points all year, four bonus points all year, and he has fucking 11 returns. So that sucks because that's a lot of points you're leaving
mid in the game on 4 bonus.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you need a double return for bonus points, but that's a lot of points on the table. Like right, Bruno gets an assist, and those are sometimes 8-9 points. Like Kevin, But Rashford, honestly, that's the thing too. Is we're just, all of a sudden we look around the midfield and City don't have options anymore. Right. But I'm looking like, okay, is Mane worth like 2 mil more? Like this is fucking ridiculous. Like
it's a lot.
I'm never captaining him. I'm never captaining Mane. So that right there is just okay. That's something to think about. And then just the 9.5 price, it just fits in really nicely there. And yeah, Rashford is just, I prefer like not watching him play, but for FPL, I think he's just flat out been a good pick, and he probably will continue to be a good pick as long as he's fit.
It's kind of easier in my head to make sense of it all when you look back, and we have a long career of Rashford. Like you said, we've all seen him play a lot. to see that he's been even XG on his career, like that makes it very easy to understand. You know, he's tied for 11th in the league XG per 90. He's an even XG player. He gets almost half an expected goal per 90. That's a goal every other game. That's fucking good.
Yeah, and
your goal every other game is really good.
Yeah, and last year he was a little inflated because he had a lot of pens.
Yeah,
and this year, and it's just been a little bit different because he is a lot more of a focal point. Like they're springing, like he's the out ball, like he's the runner.
Yes.
Like he's the player that Bruno's trying to get. He makes the
100%.
fucking run to get him behind. And last year it was a lot more divided with Martial was playing well and Greenwood was playing well and the build-up was a little bit different. But this year it's like, right, he's been getting even more opportunities. So, yeah, so Rashford, good FPL pick, I think. It's just a good pick, so... I just think he's a good pick.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. We had like a heart to heart about it. I feel like, and it was like, yeah, you're doing a good job here. Yeah, and he's the main outlet, progressor, all that stuff. So yeah, I like it. And
he is a hat trick player. Like he has hat tricks in him. Like he did it in Europe in fucking 8 minutes.
Guys who miss a lot of big chances. I mean,
once in a while,
the quantity is what you want.
Yeah, And that's something that I've been talking a lot about the last couple of years, right? Is that, I mean, Grealish is an anomaly, but like the Suns, the Mo's, like players like Rashford, like the players that they get their points on goals. Like I like those players so much more. And I've been like drawn more towards them. Like if you have a brace potential, like those are the players that I look up, like I get my ears go up about. Yep. And I like targeting those players who I believe have brace potential any game they play.
And we've always said that quantity is what we really want, you know? I mean, obviously, ideally you want both, but if you're just getting tons of chances every game and you're undroppable, that's fucking good.
That's good. Yeah. And it also comes back to the sample size regression thing. Like every season's a small sample size.
Yeah.
Like every fucking season's a small sample size. So, when he's getting this quality, the big chances, then, sometimes maybe he goes for a month or two and he finishes 80% of them. That's not going to be a stunner. That could happen.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. No, that's a really good shout. I mean, there was that Mane season, was that 2 seasons ago? Where he just had tied the golden boot with Mo and Obbs and just scored 22 goals. And it was just like, holy fuck, he just shot hot for the entire season. And, I don't know. Happens. Yeah. Let's do questions. Can I get a hell yeah? Said, is Zaha a trap? Which is kind of offensive. Because he's good. I don't think he's a trap. I think he's a good pick.
Yeah. I don't understand how he could be viewed as a trap. It's a similar thing.
He plays striker.
He plays striker. He doesn't get. He's the opposite volume. He doesn't get a lot of chances. Like we're pretty bad. We're back. Benteke's looks back to his worst, unfortunately. But when he's playing striker, he's going to return, periodically, and then he'll go through little purple patches. But
stats are good. Really good. He's shooting more than usual. He's
a really good player. He did just have 4 blanks before the goal. So, you're frustrated about that if you sit and watch him have, he did have Spurs and Liverpool in that 4. You're frustrated when you sit with any of your, that's funny. When any of your players have 4 blanks in a row, but you never know there's no good or bad fixtures for Palace because we're just a schizophrenic team and sometimes we'll play well and sometimes we won't. But no matter what, if we do score, it's usually going through Wilf, and he's a long-term hold pick. He's not like, let me try and project how many points he's going to get in the next 3 weeks because you're just going to be dick in your hands. This is pointless.
Yep.
He's still cheap. He's only 7.4. Exactly. I mean, where else are you? Again, it's
great.
I still like it's like the Robbo or whatever. You could still go over there, but in that price bracket, he's going to get points.
Yeah.
I like him more than Jack. I still do.
I know you do.
Yeah. No, nothing changed there.
Al, are West Ham actually any good defensively, or have we been scammed into believing it? Which, fucking, dude, I mean, I get Soufal, you get Balbs, Nightmare. They keep it fucking clean with neither player.
It's been very close correlation with Masuaku getting hurt, and they totally lost their balance somehow by the fucking wingback getting hurt. But that's what I've seen. I mean, then it's kind of been true. They're Balbuena's cheap. I still don't understand. Kufal's still cheap. They're not great. They're not horrible. They're going to keep a couple, but until they get back to that 3 Masuaku with the 3, they're not going to. They were solid for a month and a half there when that was the team.
I'm hoping
with
Ben
Deckers
Johnson plays. I'm hoping they go back to that Ben Johnson. He just couldn't play twice in 48 hours or whatever, and they go back to it with the 3 and. They're just so much better with the wing backs and 3, and Cresswell's the half center back, half full back, and it's just better.
Yeah, it's better. And I mean, they gave 2 goals up to Brighton, but they were. I thought they played very well the Brighton game. I thought they could have cleaned that game to me. They just
fucked up in the box, the final
just a couple
moment,
of dumb fucking things.
But they were the better team, I thought too.
So I don't think it's a trap, but I'm still not sitting here Cresswell 5-3 is ridiculous, but getting an expensive player there, I don't like. But I still feel like Kufal at 4-7 is fine.
Yeah,
Balbuena's fine, 4-4 fine.
The announcer was saying Soufal, so I started saying Soufal, and then someone sent a video that it's Soufal.
Soufal, okay, good job, you.
Graham, is there anyone who has supplanted Kuhn as the player Walsh would most likely to receive a Nuru massage from?
Nuru massage from Kuhn? No, why would that change?
I just read that and I was like, what a fucking question. Amazing.
No, absolutely not. Not even remotely close.
Rubicante on Twitter, he said, how do you guys deal with passive versus aggressive tendencies in making transfers, especially during weird times?
Badly.
Yeah. I mean, do you ride it out and play the game as usual, or are you taking more risks to try and take advantage? I mean, I feel
comes back to the precog. Right? Yeah. You have to pick the way you play and stick with it and not go in and out of half measures.
Which I don't feel like I've done. Do you feel like
same.
You've done
I've had
that?
3 hits. I just happened to this hit was a -20 instead of a 4.
Consistent though. You've been consistently not taking hits and playing conservative.
I'm saying I've been very passive and chill. And you've been you've had more injuries than a normal season.
Yes.
So that's something that's difficult. You can't play normally when you're addressing fires every week. So.
If this was match of the day, they'd be Alon's team hasn't found his identity yet.
Yeah. Yep.
And I would be like,
honestly, I'm a passive manager. I'm not, when I play FPL, I like to give my players time. I take a while to make an estimation on someone, but when I do, I usually stick pretty okay for a while. So
yeah,
I've been doing that this year. I have 3 hits. I'm at 1.5 mil. I'm not doing well, obviously.
But you're on the way up, trending upwards.
But I still like the ever since I wildcarded, I think my team's been in pretty good shape. Yeah. I've been doing badly on captaincy this year, but that happens. Happens.
Well, speaking of captaincy, BWR said, what's the read on Poole looking leggy and short of ideas versus West Brom and Newcastle? Inevitable or something to be worried about here?
No. Yeah. Fair question.
Yeah, all their points dropped against only bad teams. It's insane.
Yeah, this was my thing is watching the game. Watched them fast the first half. Second half, we went to the call with Nate and Derek. I don't get the team. I don't understand why he feels like he needs that defensive of a 3 against a team like Newcastle.
The midfield.
The
midfield.
Yeah. He's relying so much. So he puts Milner in for Genie. Genie dead on his feet. Absolutely. Puts Milner in there. Is Curtis and Hendo. Hendo was not good against West Brom. And the amount of reliance that you're putting on Curtis in this game is too much. It's too much. He's a little baby child kid.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense to me. He was playing with the Jota team and they're scoring for fucking fun. You get one more attacker on there and it's just LOL fun times.
Yep.
Scoring every time they progress to the final third, they're creating a big chance or a decent chance every fucking time. I get the center back's missing, so he's got the dumb fuck who sucks, and he's probably worried about that. But you're dropping 2 points against the worst teams in the division regularly over the last 2 months. It's just too conservative for me. I don't get it. And I don't like the concept of, this will be enough to get us 1 or maybe 2, and then we can shut it down. You could sub into this team at halftime. Go get your 2 goals. and then sub in. But if you're telling me that you need that 3 against Newcastle, I don't get it, especially with the bench loaded. The bench was loaded.
Yeah,
that was my issue. That was my issue.
I don't disagree. I mean, I think I think many things, but one of the things is last season we just win this game 100% of the time. Title winning season when we just mow as 2 1v1s, we get a ball cleared off the line. Like, that just didn't happen last season. We just won every one of those games. Every one that was tight, we won 1-0. Every 1-1, we got the late winner and it was 2-1. So I think there's just a little bit of that in there too, where we're just like, we had chances and didn't take them. The other thing that I was thinking about earlier when I was just pissed off about the game after the game was the trickle down effect of the center backs being out is the reason I think that Trent is not an attacker this season. He's not
getting
an
a little
extra
more involved
attacker
today.
A little more, but he's not like Robbo, and he's not certainly like the seasons prior. And I think that Van Dijk and Gomez are just so good and cover so much space and with their pace that like you literally we usually play 2, 3, 5. And the fullbacks are just as far forward as the forwards, and the midfielders are just workmen, and the center backs just cover sideline to sideline. And I think that just with Nat Phillips on his side, he just can't get that far forward. And like that is also making Liverpool play basically down an attacker from normal, past 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, but then I agree with that. That makes sense. But you still, to me, then it's like, okay, well, I need to adjust.
Yeah.
Like, I need to adjust the things that are happening.
Yeah, and it's hard when
there's 50-50s, right?
2
like
games
you're talking about.
in 48 hours. It's hard to make changes, And
I mean, I don't accept that. Because you're still playing West Brom Newcastle and you drop 4 points there. Like you need to figure out that you have to figure out the solutions to get. I don't know. I
think it's a results thing too. West Brom, they score a header on a corner, and
But that's the same thing. You have to make 1-2. Like you can't sit on 1-0 against any team because that there is that fluky thing. And they took the foot off the gas for 40, 50 minutes of that game. And they got what they deserve. You don't make it 2, then you're susceptible to give up some fluky shit because they're still professionals.
But last season, that's not the case.
And that's the thing.
And last 2 seasons, that's not the case. Where they're just reaching 100 points,
But that's the thing is you see these things of like the coin flips or the 50-50s or these like little things, these moments in the games that, is going certain different ways. And certainly Liverpool did enough today to get a goal. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they were awful. They were fine. Yeah, they were fine. But when you go in at 0-0 and you saw the team blitz you for the first 20 minutes and then stop playing football, how are you accepting that? How are you okay with that? You have 3 subs. You're playing very defensive team. Make a change. It's still 0-0. You got to win the game. 1 point is not acceptable.
I agree.
And it seemed like he accepted it at some point.
I think the Thiago change, Liverpool are fucking on fire for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, but he could only do 20. It's not enough. It's just it wasn't enough to me. That was the thing it was frustrating to me watching that one with that.
That's it's totally fair. I'm not going to say it's not fair.
Yeah,
totally fair.
It's just frustrating.
When Thiago's fit, he's probably first choice. I mean, he's the best midfielder at Liverpool. There's no question about that. And
and he's 2 attackers because the space, the balls he plays take 2-3 defenders out all the time.
Insane.
So there's your extra attacker right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a fucking tough fucking year, man.
Tough spell. Yeah, tough spell
for sure.
And Mo didn't finish his fucking shit.
He had, I mean, again, like I tweeted, like, we picked the right captain yet again. What are you gonna do? He has 2 huge chances in the box, chances. 2 1v1s with the keeper on his strong foot.
Fucked one, and Darlow did the thing, and he fucked the other thing.
Yeah. So fuck us. And then last question, Gary Banana on Twitter. Gary Banana, what a name. He said FPL New Year's resolutions, which I don't know. I don't have any. Do you have any?
That's a question?
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve when we're recording right now.
God. Is this like a fucking family pod? What kind of question is that?
Yeah, it's a family pod.
Fuck off.
Let's go to our teams. John V was asking Taylor replacements, which felt...
Do people make New Year's resolutions? Is that something you do after you get out of like middle school?
Me?
No, I mean you as in like general population.
Yeah, I think people do them. I don't know.
People do that.
No one that I talk to does it.
People don't do that.
But people do that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah, go to the gym.
Upsetting. That's upsetting.
Lose weight. Like, eat less fucking
That's so
candy.
upsetting.
I don't know.
That's so upsetting.
John V was asking about Taylor replacements, and we both have Taylor. He got you your 8 minutes this week. It felt like something relevant to both of our teams because we're probably both going to have to transfer him out because he did his fucking hamstring. So
don't get Gibbs.
Good idea. Maybe Dallas. Fuck.
Well, it depends how much you have to spend, but
what are you looking at? I mean, I have 0.1 in the bank, so I'm spending.
I need to know
0.1.
if my new hit in for Cancelo is patient 0 over at City first.
Are we going to even get that news though?
I don't know.
I actually have no idea.
I don't know. Well, there's still tomorrow, so we'll see.
So basically, we just need to see because Diash might have fucking COVID. I have no idea.
I don't know. Loughton's still fine. I mean, it's not like losing the left back is Burnley's going to change. No. They kept the clean.
They're still Burnley. So Loughton's in there, and Loughton.
Loughton's fine. There's not much. Dyer, fine.
I don't want to even think about it. Maybe I'll go Holding.
West Ham,
back
fine.
Myself with Holding in these next 3 fixtures.
Yeah, you could go there. Yeah. West Ham, fine.
It's funny that he got max bones. He was fucking erratic.
he was so bad.
That's just like a consistent bonus point thing.
Worst player on the
worst
pitch.
Player because they're like involved in the most shit, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like Meslier drop every cross, max bones auto.
Meslier, worst player for Leeds, max bones.
Oh, interesting. We need to get more
there really
worst
isn't
players.
A lot. Defense. The defense is tough. There's just not a lot of options.
Yeah.
Outside of City and Liverpool,
I mean, listen,
the trustworthiness is not there.
Here's my shot.
And Burnley.
Fulham. They have Burnley, blank, double, Brighton, West Brom. They have 3 fucking amazing fixtures and a double.
Okay.
Hard to beat that.
Well, the double is home Chelsea, home Man United.
It
so
sucks,
that might be
but
like
you
a 2-pointer.
Hopefully it's just 4 points, and that's still fine.
So Robinson?
Yeah, or Adebayo. He seems good.
Robinson's under low-key good underlyings.
Low-key, Adebayo has no arms in his FPL picture. High-key, low-key, no arms.
Doesn't need him.
That's good because he can't concede a handball. It's huge.
It's still really difficult for me to wrap my brain around like getting a Fulham defender, even though they have been very good.
And you love them, and you still can't do it.
They're good. Good team. Who's been really
defensively? They've been so good recently.
They've just been good. Full stop. Good team.
No, they don't score. They don't really get close to.
Neil has been wanking to Fulham. Every time Fulham comes up on Friday show or Coach Home, Neil is in on Fulham. Yeah. He talks faster.
That's good.
He inflection goes higher.
Yeah.
I'm like, if Neil's on Fulham, I'm okay about Fulham.
Yes. No, I mean, listen, they can't really score goals. They don't really play any goal scorers since they've dropped fucking
Other than
Mitro.
If Lookman can score on the counter or something, they don't have much.
They don't have much. But defensively, since game week 10, they're 4th in the league in XG allowed. 4th best.
That's high in the league.
Yeah, okay. They just are good and don't concede much, and their midfield's
I don't mind that.
all defensive.
I don't mind that.
It could be upping the whites soon. So
it's a little bit of a flare one, but
it's kind of flare.
Fixtures are good. Okay.
Kind of flare.
It's still tough though over like Loughton. I don't know.
Tough. Yeah, I like a flare pick because I'm bad at the game.
Yeah. Okay.
What about captains? I mean, Brian said, talk to me more about perma-capping Bruno. Is this the simplest decision of the game? He's on course for 260 minimum, maybe 300 plus, currently averaging 8 points per game.
Yeah.
Should we just be treating Bruno like Mo?
No. I mean, you watch this game against Wolves, and he should have gotten 2 points. He was horrible.
Bad. Oh, my God.
Or 3 points, right? He can't complete a pass, didn't really shoot. This is the same thing with Bruno that is... We talk about fraudulence. when he scores a goal in open play, it's like it stuns me every time. Every time, because he has this free roll, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, honestly. Like, because he had that one in the box. Like, he usually has one opportunity in and around the box.
Yes.
And
he
then,
had a huge chance.
He had that one that was a little behind him, right? He tried to kick it with it. But he has good qualities, so he's, he'll score some like banger or whatever. He's got the direct, but the pens are just like, if he didn't have penalties, he would be so far down in the things. How many pens does he have already? Like 5? I mean, that's like fucking 30 points, 25 points or something.
Yeah.
And it's stupid to say that because he has pens, obviously. He has pens, but
he's incredible.
They're not predictable. So
the thing
I
said
still don't
recently
know when
was
he's going to score.
He was basically constructed in a laboratory for FPL. He is perfect in every way for FPL.
No, he is.
He plays on a good team.
Set pieces.
He shoots a lot. He has every avenue imaginable. Pens, shoots a lot.
Long balls.
And it's
also to Rashford.
It's also the style, because he has. If dispossessions mattered in FPL, he'd be a disaster. He gives the ball away for fucking fun. It's his favorite thing to do, because he plays just risky passes all the time. For FPL, it's the best possible thing, because all of his passes are like potential assists. And it's just like, he's just so good for FPL. It's unreal that some people still don't have him.
But I still don't like capping him in bad fixtures. Like, he's not. Just like I don't like capping Bo in bad fixtures. He's
same.
You still go. He's in the very small bucket of, it would take, one of the other 2 or 3 players who are elite in the game to have bad fixtures also, kind of a thing. Yeah. To cap him in a bad fixture, but no, I don't think so.
So who's your armband on?
Son, not close.
I'm on Kane. Same shit.
Yeah. No, it's not even
best
a question for me this
in the league.
Yeah.
Easy.
This could be 7-2.
I don't know to go Son or Kane. That's the thing. That's the only decision I'm making.
So I think Son's a lot better, because this is the Southampton game.
Yeah,
this is the Southampton game. Yeah, Kane's fucking old and slow. He's not going to be.
That's kind of what I was thinking, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kane could get 2 assists, whatever the fuck. That's not.
But Son should have in my legit multiple open play, huge chances.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very hard to imagine that he doesn't have that. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not for nothing that they have a normal rest period.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any COVID, right? That was Fulham.
Yeah.
So they should be good. Although at this point, in a normal season, I would vice Kane here, but I'm not going to do that this year. Yeah. That's the only COVID adjustment I'm making in my FPL team.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds have a few days off, so it's not like they're going to be super tired or stretched or whatever. But
it doesn't matter. I don't want them to be tired. I want them to play their exact normal style. I want them to be full of energy.
Well, I want them to be tired, but doing the same thing.
Right.
We'll get a little bit of both. Yeah. But I think that's I don't think it's remote. It's not a question for me this week.
Fully agree.
And, I'm sure people are going to be on Salah. Listen, I mean, Southampton are a good team. Good defense, somehow. They've been good. So it's the same thing of like, I feel like Southampton almost in that Wolves category where I just like never really feel too comfortable captaining them because the team's
because sometimes they just play really fucking well. Sometimes they... did you know one time they conceded 9 to Leicester?
No, I hadn't heard that.
What was that? It was crazy. And then they kept their manager and they galvanized.
They didn't fire the manager?
They didn't fire him. They stayed patient. There's just so much credit to the board there.
Okay.
That's it, bro. Let me slap asses. We got one.
Well, what about moves? Are you doing you have 2 frees?
I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm almost definitely doing Taylor out. But then I need the news. I need to figure out if Diash has COVID or if any of my other players are going to play.
Well, you also definitely don't need to do that move because you have 4 good defenders now.
What, the Taylor move?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Mitchell's going to start.
Oh, definitely.
You think so?
100%.
Why 100%?
PVA's been the worst player on our team for 2 months.
I just thought they got rotated and then he got rotated.
No, been calling for PVA drop for a good month.
You have, but
no, but not just me, but people. Like it's been in there, it's been out there. I think it's Mitchell's got his place.
I don't feel comfy. I don't feel comfy with it.
Yeah, I would.
I'll probably put him first on my bench.
I would start him. Home Sheffield, I'd start him.
I guess I could start him like over like Sufal.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
And then, if he doesn't play, it's fine.
Yeah.
The fear is he subs on and gets... Well, he doesn't really sub on, so never mind.
But you're set up to the 4-4-2, but you have nothing in the bank. Oh.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. If I had...
That's the thing.
When I was thinking about the Leeds attackers earlier, I was actually thinking about, like, can I turn Zambo into a cheap guy that I'm happy with, but I have nothing in the bank, so... And getting rid of Taylor doesn't, like, get me there, so...
No.
I'm probably just sticking with 4-4-2, which I think is still fine. I like my attack. I just need to get, 5 defenders going.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, you don't have anywhere else to go than doing the Taylor makes sense.
That's like almost 100% locked in. It's just a matter of if I have to make a double move or not.
Yeah, I think float. You're good
Hopefully
to float.
I can float. Hopefully there's no fucking COVID, so.
Yeah, okay.
One asked to slap, one new Patreon sign up, Ranjit Aswali, or Aswal. Get in there, slap that ass. Any last words, brother? Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy
so
fucking
we're potting
New Year.
on Monday?
I think we're potting on Monday, and then the schedule is sort of back to normal, and then we're good to go.
Cool.
Check us out at fmlfl.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlfl, support us, patreon.com/fmlfl, subscribe.